Hey, so there was meant to be a video for this to go along with this podcast, but due to some severe technical faults with our equipment, i.e. I accidentally deleted half the footage, there is no video this week, but we'll be back with more eye candy next week. Can everyone hear each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Everyone sounds good. There's no pips. There's no pops.
All right, Jack, can I get a
1-2? Yep, I'm here.
Oh, bro, your voice is real squeaky today.
Oh, come on, man.
Dude, he's just.
I just said
This is how Vinny gets people not nervous. He'll make
just roast.
Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue podcast. This is the podcast where we, and by we I mean me, Apo, and my co-host / co-founder Vincent, we dive into the Disney Plus streaming service and we tell you, the listener and viewer, what is worth it and what is not. But today, Vincent, listen, there's something special happening here at Back Catalogue Recording Studios.
We have to talk about the elephant in the room.
The literal elephant in the room.
The literal elephant.
Vinny's gonna unveil our man, friend of the show, Jack.
Hey, friend of the show, Jack.
Friend of the show, Jack.
Thank you. Can we get the audience?
Thank you.
There's one of these that does like an audience thing, but I'm not going to press one of them. I'm not going to press one of them.
It is a pleasure and a real worry that I'm here.
Yeah, look, that's okay. And
I was going to say, Jack, we're happy to have you here because it's been a long time coming. We've said it many times. We've said I'll get you on the pod. I said, dude, I'll do it.
It's been maybe 50 episodes of me asking if I can be on the pod.
Apo was always like, yeah, no, we'll get you on the pod. And I was like, no, bro.
Vinny, we got something special here.
Vinny wanted, just the screen time on us.
That's right.
Even though at that point we weren't doing screen times, but you wanted just that double, me looking at you, you looking at me. But now
into each other's eyes for 50 minutes.
Now I've been practicing
these
ones.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm feeling like
you're all right, but that's okay. You know, it's all right. This is look for the listener and the viewer. Who knows how this is going to turn out? You know,
you guys got to change it up somehow. Honestly, at episode 50, right? Something has got to change, right?
We're getting fewer and fewer downloads, so
something's got to change, and it has. Because look, we got cameras now, so you're going to be seeing this on YouTube if you're watching it. So hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Vinny's got it all there for you.
I'll have it all there. There's little buttons and whatnot, you know?
Like Vinny set it up so you can click like, man. He's done it.
I talked to YouTube. I was like, look, the fans want to be able to give us some sort of reaffirmation that we're doing good things.
Yeah. Because previously, Jack, we didn't know if fans liked our work or not.
No, what do you get? You just get stats? You just get downloads?
We just get you saying hey, that episode was all right.
Yeah, that's right. We just talked to a few heads.
And then you ask oh, you listened to the latest episode? And I'll be like, Cars. And you'll be like, no, that's ages ago. And I'll be like, oh man, I got a lot of podcasts on the go at the moment.
Yours is number 6 or 7 on the list right now.
Podcast app's just not working. It's just not working properly. Oh man, this is early doors here. We got battery issues, early doors.
We got battery issues. All right, we're gonna have to sort out some battery issues.
Can't believe you, Vincent.
Don't get mad at me. What am I going to do, you know? All right, hopefully that's sorted it out. We're back. Jack's left. It's too, you know.
It wasn't going to work.
It wasn't going to work.
He was like, man, this is what kind of production have these guys got going? They're changing
so
batteries.
Unprofessional. I'm going on the Mick and Ori podcast.
But listen, Vincent and Jack, today I wanted to tell you that we're doing 2001's very own Recess School's Out. And the reason we're doing it is because you, friend of the show, Jack, you were like, hey, Recess School's Out is what it is. So I want to know why Recess School's Out was what it is.
You asked me.
Oh, I'm asking you. Yeah.
You're a week ago, what movie do you want to do? You realize if you guessed, you got to choose a movie.
That's right.
I don't even have Disney Plus. I had to look up what movies are on Disney Plus. And then when I saw Recess, the TV show, I thought, I remember going to the movies with Vacation Care to see a Recess movie. Surely there's a movie.
Bro, did that come out in cinemas?
Yes,
yeah, dude.
It's the actual cinema release. Yeah. I'm pretty sure there was some other what is it, Disney Channel movies,
Yeah,
just
like
straight to video, or like just on the channel.
that's what I would have expected.
But this was a theatrical release. And we'll get into whether it qualifies as being good enough to be a theatrical release. But they did try. And I do remember actually seeing it in cinemas, yeah.
Hey, dude, we need Jack just on the
I
pod
was
doing
just about to
facts. I was
say,
I was like,
you've
bro, I'm
prepared,
involved.
you've written things down. I saw you on Thursday. You were like, yeah, no, I've got to write down all the, just like different actors and things like that. I was like, man, this is. Maybe
I
we
hadn't
have to
even
up
watched
our
it
game.
yet. That was all talk as well. I only watched it that night in bed, so hopefully some of it comes through.
Hey, but that's all right. And I have to say, I had a dream last night, very vivid dream, and we were recording, and we were sitting in a similar situation as here, and Apo and I had recorded the whole podcast, and you were just sitting there and you hadn't said a word, and at the end I was like, Jack hasn't said anything.
I was kind of worried about this scenario as well. I was kind of worried that you guys would just riff, and then I would I just every now and again I'd be like, yeah, I like that bit too.
Well, bro, we're only 6:20 in, so like, there's still time. There's still time for us to still riff.
But just in saying that, my anxiety has dropped about 60%.
Oh, thank
because
goodness.
you've said some words and you've also shown us up. So look, that's what we need here.
So that's why you were so negative, like when we walked in on arrival.
You say I was so negative. I was just standing there.
Anyway, let me get into this. I'm going to give you some facts. Like, Jack's giving you some facts. I'm going to give you like basic facts here. Like, compared to Jack, we got 6.6 out of 10 on the IMDb. We got the 60% on the Rotten Tomatoes. Now, this had a budget of 23 million and it made 44.5 million. So Jack's right. It had a theatrical release because the show was so popular.
$23 million. Where does that money go?
Just like cartoons. That's it. Like, just straight to cartoons.
Usually those budgets don't include like marketing and stuff, do they? Usually they're just like production, actors, soundtrack. The soundtrack is something I'll get
I was
onto.
about to
There's
say,
actually
the
some, like,
soundtrack is probably where they paid like most of the
there's
millions.
actually like quite some good like 60s rock tunes in the soundtrack. And I mean, the cast is not massive, are they? There's some like known actors in there, but not the sort of ones that's going to chew up all your budget. There's no like big stars.
No, they're just the biggest star in it is James Woods, who was the man's from Hercules, what's his name? Hades from Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. See, I didn't.
His voice was super familiar, probably because he does lots of other cartoon animation stuff.
And he's like full like right wing conservative like on the Twitters these days. So like you know him, you love him, right?
Great family entertainment guy.
He's one of those guys that's like on Twitter, you go to their like profile just to look at it and it's just like this post has been like taken down. Like that's 90% of the post. But I'm glad, look, Jack, I'm glad that you said that about the music, because I got a review here from Harry Potter fan 1996.
So we already know where
Is this a returning reviewer?
their
to the
loyalties
show?
lies.
No, this is
Sounds
not
familiar.
a returning reviewer, but this is the thing. They released this review, they released it to the public, right? Wide to the public in 2007. So 1996, either 1996 there's 1,996 Harry Potter fans, or this person was born in 1996, right? Which is probably more likely.
Yeah.
So they're 11 years old at this point when they wrote this review,
That's hilarious.
right?
That's hilarious.
And it comes through in the review as well. So I give it a 1 out of 10 because it is a bad film. However, I have nothing against the series. But anyway, the music is old and bad. Which is great. Like, first of all, yeah, okay, music can be old, but for this person, they'll probably like, oh my goodness, like all I'm into right now is like Nikki Webster's
I was just
latest
going to say,
hit.
give me some strawberry kisses.
Oh, I love it when kids are like so polarized in their view. They're like 1 out of 10. Like it wasn't set during recess. 1 out of 10.
It takes longer than what recess takes.
Yeah, recess is like 20 minutes. I get a snack and everything. I didn't get none of that here. But she goes on, or he or she goes on. The reason I say she is because I'm just thinking of like my partner. Like she wasn't born in 1996, but she just like loves that Harry Potter life.
She's Harry Potter fan, like 1990 something.
Yeah. And she would actively like dislike a movie for like such like just
That's hilarious.
straight down the line reasons.
That's a pretty, I'd say that's a pretty sought after username.
Harry Potter fan.
Harry Potter fan 1996 with the birth year. That's pretty,
Like you were saying, if it's the birth year, there'd be a lot of other Harry Potter fans. From
that's
that
what I
year.
mean. That's when I was born.
That's when you were born. You were a Harry Potter fan.
I was a Harry Potter fan. Actually, no, I wasn't because I cried
Yeah,
in the first movie. It was too scary.
And who wants like
My auntie had to take me out.
who
In the
wants Lemmy?
cinemas? Was it in the cinemas?
Yeah, in the cinemas.
That's hilarious.
I was like, there's a man's on the back of his head. Get me out of here.
At least that's the back end of the movie.
That's true.
You've seen a lot. What the? You just say to your auntie, like, what did you bring me into? This is trauma. I'm 1996. This is trauma in 2007 for me. I'm still thinking about it. I'm gonna just hit you with the rest of the review. Well, I don't agree with anyone who likes this movie. The plot is lame and the voices are too deep. It says some other stuff, but I'm paraphrasing here. Then it gets to the end and it says, well, I'm going to let you go read other comments now. So, yeah. Like, that is verbatim for the final sentence of this review from Harry Potter fan 1996.
Harsh but fair.
I'm going to give you the synopsis, boys, viewers and listeners, and then we're going to get into this. 3rd Street Elementary students band together to save summer break. Let's hit them with the hits.
The hits of this movie. First of all, this is created by Paul and Joe. That's just what it says. It's just like recess, school's out, created by Paul and Joe. So shout out to Paul and Joe.
As in they came up with the original concept or
Who knows?
They did the whole...
Just says created by Paul and Joe. That's all it said. I didn't look any further into it, so...
That's what we do here. We're surface level.
Oh, starting with the start of the movie, right? Not that we're doing like a plot synopsis, but...
No, you go. You go wherever you go. We'll follow.
We've got the Disney Castle intro, and we've got the kids on the kazoos doing.
Oh yeah,
that was enough to just get me a little bit excited at the start.
Well, that I think for me, because I'm like Harry Potter fan 1995 _. That for me, that Disney opening is the Disney opening that I grew up with.
Yeah, the cartoon one rather than like bro, they got like CGIs now.
They got like boats and stuff in there now. Like, I don't want to see like things that look unreal.
Yeah, the Disney opening credits thing is like really transformed with what has happened to Disney. Like it's gone from being a straightforward cartoon that's really effective to being 3D and overdone. So yeah, that really says a lot.
Some like they're literally like, hey, we've done every live action movie we can. Let's like live actionify like the Disney logo. Let's do it. Like we have to.
We've got money in the budget.
Like Walt said, every 30 years it needs to change.
Should we review the Disney like live action version of the
podcast is changing. Don't worry about recess, school's out. We're breaking down. We're going to put up on the screen. You'll see it at home. I'm thinking that in 30 years time, we're going to get like the 4D because like where else is it going to go? Like, Disney Plus is going to be Disney Plus Smell-O-Vision. Like that's where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Like, that's the add-on, right?
Or it'll be like an IMAX ride where you're in the chairs, like going through the castle in the opening credits.
And like most of the time it's just like Johnny Depp as like Jack Sparrow, but like it's not Johnny Depp anymore because like he's in legal troubles, right?
He's in legal troubles.
It's just some other man's just being like
moving his hands around.
Anyway, I thought that was exciting because I got to see those characters which I haven't seen since we were in, because I haven't watched this since we were.
Yeah,
did you watch the TV show?
As a kid I did, but I wasn't religiously watching it. But I was always like, man, that dude with that backwards cap, like with the hair sticking out, I was like, that's the vibe.
TJ.
And you watched it. Yeah, the show was good. It was good for being like actually relatable as a kid rather than super duper over the top.
Yeah, that's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
Because I actually watched some of the episodes after. I was like, let's peruse these.
Yeah. Like just the dynamics of the kids was like better. Not so silly. Like more just like relatable and funny. Whereas the movie like tries to take it to another level.
Yeah, we're talking like they're thinking like aliens.
Yeah,
we got like laser beams. We're like trying to steal the moon.
Yeah, even though it isn't aliens, like what's actually happening is still ridiculous.
Yeah, which I have a theory that Recess School's Out formed what Stranger Things is today. Because if you don't tell me that could be like a subplot in Stranger Things, that like the scientists they've gone into the school of wherever they live, I can't remember where they live, and they're just like, you know what? Hey, there's like things coming out of the what the hell is that place called? The backwards town.
Upside down.
Yeah,
if you replace the scientists with Russians,
there's
Stranger Things season 4.
That's what it's going to be.
That's what it's going to be. You're going to have Hopper come out of the woodwork. And it's going to be like, there's Russians here in this 3rd Street Elementary School. And you say TJ there.
That's right. There's going to be some dude with backwards hat. Because tell me now that one, TJ linking up with the principal in this movie, that's not like a Hopper and one of the kids'
100%,
relationship.
yeah.
The sister who works at like the fast food joint, that's not that man's that works at the ice cream place. And then we got lasers. Like, you know, what else do you want? Lasers shooting at things.
Dude, Paul and Joe were visionaries.
Paul and Joe were visionaries.
They created... they should sue. Paul and Joe.
Also, when you were talking about the animated, like the TV show, was the animation the same?
Not quite.
It was a bit more rough around the edges.
Well, the animation, the TV show came out in like 97.
Yeah. I looked into the one of the organizations that did the animation, and they did like Rocko's Modern Life and like Angry Beavers, Johnny Bravo. So I think the cartoon was a bit more like edgy with the animation style, and this was sort of like slicked up a little bit for the movie.
Yeah, because the theatrical release, you know, they had to.
Oh yeah, you got because when you put it on the big screen, like there's those blemishes they're gonna be showing.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna say like the animation is fine. It's maybe like a bit empty, like there's not quite enough going on, but maybe that's just with that $23 million budget. You're like can only animate so much at once. It even made it feel a bit old school where like only one thing would be moving at once.
Yeah, that's
like you'd know which door they're going through.
That's right. Some Scooby-Doo action.
Some Scooby-Doo action.
But also I felt that like each character felt like they were just obviously like it was like their drawings of these characters, but it's just like a 2D thing in space, like moving like this. Like not interacting with the world, just like interacting with the person next to them, but they ain't even looking at them in the eyes, you know? Because like their souls have been taken out.
You know how the movie poster's like 2D characters superimposed over like an American flag coming down on ropes and stuff, and it's made to look like it's going to be like this is big budget. Yeah, it really is just a TV show translated into long format.
Yeah.
And like no wonder it was profitable on that basis. You know, like they managed to convince people to come to basically a TV show for a movie, and I think like as a kid you would probably still be like, this is pretty good.
Oh yeah.
As a kid, you'd be like, bro, they're doing like kid things.
But compared to like proper Disney movies, it's not really like really hitting hard with production value. That 3D opener where they like pan across the
that
town,
was weird.
That looked like Simpsons Hit and Run.
Dude, it looked like a video game.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this doesn't age well.
I was thinking it was going to get into there and it'd be like, we're just in The Sims. Like I just click Sims like on YouTube and I was going to be like, yeah. Like that's what I was thinking was going to happen.
Yeah.
Dude, The Sims is the wildest game.
It is, isn't it?
My partner plays The Sims occasionally, and sometimes I just hear like, damn, my sim just got abducted by aliens again.
Dude.
I was like, bro, aren't you just like making families? My sim died, but the cat killed the Grim Reaper.
So is the sim like just like there, just like the Grim Reaper's like trying to get in, the cat's just like hitting it with the 1-2s?
Bro, I think the cat and the Grim Reaper were just oozing like around the...
I had a Sims. I can't remember what game I had. I had it on GameCube, bro. I put the family in there. And I just like, give me a random family. So they gave me this couple and they had a child. Now this couple, like I could not do anything about it. The child was crying all the time. So I was like, hey, go like, you know, support your child.
Yeah, wubbity doobity the child.
Wubbity do, you know?
Right click, support child.
And this is what would happen. And then they'd fall asleep. And the Department of Child Protection took my damn child. Jeez. This lady walks into the house, right? And I'm like, what the hell? Like this lady with like some business suit. She picks up the child out the cot and then just walks back out. And I'm like, and it says like, your child has been taken like to Department of Child Protection. I was like,
I don't know if that feature would still be in it. Like,
or she didn't wubbity doobity like the parents to say like, hey, don't fall asleep on the job.
They couldn't wake up. They were so tired that they just, every time I tried to wake them up, they'd be like, oh. And they'd go back to sleep. And I'm like, bro, like he's there. He's there. He's crying.
Half of The Sims is just like building a pool, putting the people in the pool, and then deleting the stairs to the pool and just watching them swim around. Like half of The Sims is just like seeing what you can do to these people that you've made.
Yeah.
Just seeing where the limitations of the game are.
Yeah. So having the child taken away by Child Protection, that's like too realistic.
That's like hits
honestly.
home.
Yeah, that's too dark.
And like that's not even something I dreamed about. Like that happened because I was mad.
Bro, you're gonna have kids in the future, and you were like, babe, do not fall asleep. Do not fall asleep.
I'm just gonna be there like at a cot, like just looking at him, like eyes twitching. I'm just be drinking coffees, but I'm not falling asleep ever. Even though that's crazy. That's crazy. But
That's
The
crazy.
Sims, top tier game. I'm gonna say it's a top tier because
I've never really played it.
you can create it's Animal Crossing, but like you can do like wubba doos in there. You
Yeah.
know.
That's true.
You find a game that people who don't like games play, but play it seriously, not just like Candy Crush. That's a true game.
That's 100%.
If anyone can just play it and be like, I am enamored by the fact that I'm controlling a human being who can like make beans on toast 3 times and then they can upgrade and make spaghetti bolognese and like life is so linear and how we like gain skills and stuff. That's
My partner probably wishes I could upgrade my cooking.
just
Well,
cook
I mean, I'm
toast
sure you can.
3
I'm
more
just strictly
times.
like ravioli. Ravioli, bit of like nonna sauce.
Yeah.
That's on brand though.
My partner's like, bro, surely you do this 5 times, like you can upgrade to something else.
Well, like fettuccine
Maybe, you know?
with some pesto on there.
Bro, that's too much.
That's too much, man. Like, what are you going to be doing?
too much.
Also, that's on brand though.
What?
That's like if I'm out there making gyros, like people will be like, hey, look, that's all you can make, but like that's pretty good, right? You're Greek. Like that's what I want. You're Italian.
Yeah, but the ravioli is just like frozen ravioli. I
Yeah.
don't make the ravioli. I
Right,
just
right.
put them in the pot, put some sauce on it, and like there you go, wubbity doobity, you got some ravs. What else you want from me?
And then the Grim Reaper just comes in. He's like, hey, listen, dude, like this ain't it. And then you're just
Where
like,
my
oh,
cat
man.
at?
What movie are we talking about again?
Welcome to the show, Jack.
Bro, we're here. Like this is where we cut this out usually, but like we're keeping it in now. We never cut this out. This is just what we do.
The way Jack was just looking while you just lost that as like the dumbest joke. He was just like, what have I got myself into?
Oh, I hope I don't give it away on the video when I'm like, that's not that funny.
That's not that fun.
Dude, you got a camera right on you, man. Like that's gonna be seeing your eyes just dead looking at it. We're gonna have dead cam. It's gonna say dead cam, and it's just every time Jack just looks at the camera like Jim from The
And
Office.
it would just have like a heart rate, but it would just be like, doop.
So I mean, back to the movie, right? Back to the movie. We talked about the Stranger Things, but my favorite, I will say, one of my favorite bits of the movie, in general, like it's about this dude who used to live in the town, was one of the principals or back in the day, and you know he was downtrodden. His ideas were taken away. He wanted to stop recess, right?
Because he thought it'd lead to higher test scores.
Which is like dumb in itself, but hilarious because that's like something like maybe Paul and Joe like are just 2 kids who are like thinking like this is the biggest nightmare ever.
Yeah.
Imagine if they take away recess. Like lunch is still there, but recess, bro. Imagine they take it away.
It's dumb enough and simple enough that people are like, man, that's crazy, but it's also evil. This guy is true evil.
And like that's something that you'd be thinking, what would I do in that situation? Like I bet when I watched this movie, I was in there like, would I be able to take down this like corporation with my group of friends?
My group of friends, bro. I wouldn't be able to do
I think that's the appeal of Recess is like, you know how great kids movies do the 2-tier thing where it's a movie for kids and it's a movie for adults at the same time. Recess really is focused on the 10-year-old who sees themselves as the Recess characters.
it. Yeah.
For us, it's like,
Because there's a whole bunch of the characters. Like, you could be any one of the
you
characters.
can be any one of them. Yeah. Yeah.
At any point in your life. Like one time I wanted to be a singer, but then I wanted to be a wrestler. Like that's been the trajectory of my life. Now I do podcasting.
The singer guy looks like he could be a wrestler as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's go through the characters. The
main you got them
gang.
written down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So hit us up with
we
those
got
names.
TJ. That's me. That's the cool one of the
That's
group.
the cool one.
He's like a slick talker. Always gets his way. He's doing pranks and stuff.
Yeah, 'cause you do
can
pranks
talk his
all the
way
time,
out of.
don't you?
I always do pranks, man.
Always do
you're-
pranks. We had like whoopee cushions on our chairs. We were like, Jack, how did you get in here before us?
Yeah. The-
Like Apo drove you here.
I didn't even drive him here. He's just outside, so I got him in the car.
he just picked.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's parked outside. Like, you didn't
That's
even let him in
hilarious.
the stew, man.
Oh, he didn't. I didn't.
He doesn't have access
What
yet.
am I supposed to do?
After this show, you might have access. We might have to get a 4th mic. You just be here like spitting facts.
Yeah,
man.
that's right.
Keeping us on brand.
It'd be
Yeah.
like a news channel, like, and here's Jack with the characters.
And then we'll just be like, Jack? No, you can't hear Jack. Oh, hey, Jack. We've lost Jack. Anyway, we're back to the show. Now hit us with, you got TJ.
Okay, TJ, the next one I got here is Gretchen. She's a bit of a nerd, but she's very clever. We got Mikey, who's he's like really into singing. He's a bit like, I don't know. He's a bit silly. He does lots of burps. He's kind of like he's very like wow, this is taking a long time.
He's the fall guy. He's the guy that like, hey, if all the jokes don't work, like this dude farting in the background. Like,
Yeah, that's
lit.
right.
We're still lit here. Like kids in the back, like that's what's up. That's my jam.
He's like both sensitive but also like a bit disgusting at the same time.
Yeah.
Like he'll have food around his mouth. He'll
Yeah.
be farting. He'll be burping. Like he'll burp. I bet he's burped the alphabet in one episode.
Like he'll eat a
undoubtedly.
6-decker sandwich in one bite. You know, that's the kind of vibe he's going with.
And he like gives away their position by like burping in like an air vent after eating a chocolate bar that he brought with him. Like that's like a plot device that movies like this shouldn't rely on, but it's so established with the character, it's okay apparently. We got Gus, who's like the little military dude who's like little kid, gets pushed around a bit but very loyal to his friends and like very like dependable. Vince, who's a bit of a sports star,
That's
cool
you, man.
dude.
That's me.
That's you.
Just like Vince here, really, man. Like one of the more like popular
Absolute
kids.
sport dude.
Like you just be doing baseball.
I was just doing
like
baseball.
in your free time.
I thought you were about to say in your car. I don't know why.
And then we have Spinelli, who's the female wrestler.
Yeah.
And she's like
She's the tough one of the
she's
group.
the tough one. Yep. Yeah.
And got the skinniest legs I ever seen. Like just like string like noodles. Like
Spinelli's.
Like Spinelli's, yeah.
Yeah.
But she, for me, like, I mean, what we got to do now is we got to do
Is that
most,
the crew? That's everyone, isn't it?
That's the
That's
six.
correct.
Yeah.
Covered them.
yeah.
And then there's Randall.
Oh, dude, Randall,
Yeah,
man.
The snitch.
The snitch. We'll talk
Why
about
are they going to
Randall.
do him like that? Like that man's got a hunchback. He's like 7 years old.
The fact that the lizard monster in Monsters Inc. is also called Randall.
Yeah.
He kind of does
And
look like
he's
a lizard
like
monster.
in with the establishment and like checking up on everyone. There's got to be something there.
There's got to be
gotta
something there.
Randall is like the human version of Randall.
Maybe there's like, because there's a new Monsters Inc. movie coming out. It's called Monsters at Work.
What's that? Where we're just going to watch
Monsters
them do
at
that
the
9 to 5.
But what if in that movie, Randall goes into the kid's universe, he hooks up with Randall, he's like, hey, look, you look like a weasel.
He hooks up with Randall.
Yeah, he looks up.
No, like links up with him, and he
Oh.
says, "Listen, you can be my snitch on the inside of the human world.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at you, look at your posture. Like, all you're doing is like you're at your notebook, like writing things, right?
He's always snitching to that Miss Finster or something. That's
yeah,
her name.
Yeah. And he's always doing these ones.
Yeah.
Where he's just like rubbing his palms
Oh.
together.
Miss Finster sounds like that dude in the trash can in Sesame Street.
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch.
That's the one.
I was going to say Oscar the Garbage Man because I was like, yeah, he's in the trash can, but no, he's Grouch. And like, shout out not to Sesame Street for calling that dude Oscar the Grouch. Like, dude lives out of a trash can.
Why don't you
There's
just call him
houses
Oscar?
everywhere. Of course, he's gonna be grouchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's Sesame Street. It's like we got houses there.
But who else is named after? You know, we're not talking like Count Countula who like does ABCs. He's just called Count Countula or whatever. I don't know.
just-
There are
he's just
lots
a
of
count.
minor characters on Sesame Street though. That show's been going for a long time and like different countries have their own versions of it. So
Yeah, like
there'll be so many.
Snuffleupagus. That's the goat of Sesame Street. But you're right. The Mrs. Finster, dude. I'm gonna just quickly touch on her because I want to go back and say like who everyone's favorite and like most relatable character is in out of the crew. But that Miss Finster, dude, she's just hitting the bag like Iron Mike. She's like
dude.
Mike Tyson like in that movie. It was wild. Yeah. When I saw that and I saw this like maybe 60-year-old like lady just hitting that bag hard. And this is like 2001 60. This is not 2020 60. 2020 60, you're like 25.
Yeah, you've just got out of COVID.
Like
you're looking like 60.
No, I'm saying 2020 60, you're like 25 years old. Like, because we got like nutrition now. We know about like going to the gym and whatnot.
Yeah.
Whereas back then, 60 was like, you're about 87.
I thought you meant the opposite. Like
Every
we've had
famous
such a hard
60-year-old
year.
is a social influencer and like has like a personal
Yeah.
gym.
Like your mum could be, she goes to the boxing gym.
Yeah.
That's
Just
what I'm
floor
saying.
any one of you.
She's like 100% Mrs. Finster, but like the new age version.
Yeah, okay.
But she was my favorite character of this film because like when I see someone hit the bag, I'm like, that's relatable to me.
Yeah, that in her house. She's just in her house hitting the bag and Randall's like, bro, the kids are doing stuff.
And she's waiting for a pizza while she's hitting the bag. Is that proper gym etiquette to just be like workout followed by pizza straight away.
Dude, I don't know if you follow like Dwayne The Rock Johnson on Instagram, but he'll throw a pizza in now and then.
Okay. All right.
No, he won't even throw one. He'll throw like 6.
Yeah, he'll just do like 6 stackers and he'll just be like, just eating it just to be like, I'm the biggest man you've ever seen.
Speaking of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, there's a character in this movie who's only referred to as bald guy. And he looks a bit like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Or like
that's
maybe
like the henchman.
Jason Statham, but he's like more broad.
He's like a juiced up Jason Statham.
Yeah. And he's like basically the first memorable character you see in the movie. Right at the start, they break into that base and they're like gonna get some equipment or something. I don't even know why they're breaking into that base.
That didn't come up at all. I think they would.
It seemed like a cool intro, but it's like, why didn't that just happen at the school with the security guards at the school or something?
But did they
like
need
that?
to take like some technology? Because they just like zapped the guys. They fell asleep and they were like, ha ha ha, I'm a bad guy now.
And they're like, we're going to the school. Like the number one space to go to do like scientific things. Like the school. Like that place looked like it had gear.
Yeah, that was probably a good place to do the base of operations.
And no one would have disturbed them.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, unless the funny thing is how there's these dudes like working in this facility, right? And they're just like, oh, like my wife, she left me and whatnot. Like, what else do you talk about when you're in a facility?
9 to 5. That's what you're going to hear in like monsters go to work.
That's right.
No, bro, my wife left me. Yeah, all right. Just flip this switch a few times, all right?
Just make that lady scream, man. And like, come out. Like, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But they drive through this fence.
Yeah.
And the dudes are still like, and then the door opens and they're like, there's someone breaking in.
It explodes open.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
Like now we know that there's something like if you got alarm systems, they need to tell you that someone's either like trying to break in or is almost broken in.
Like early alarm.
Or if someone's thinking about breaking in.
If the alarm only goes off when they're in the room with you, that's pretty late. And then the guy's like, must enter the password. And he's like, A-G. And he's like,
he's saying
he's
the
taking a
password
full
out
10
loud.
seconds to do like 4 letters and he doesn't do it in time. And the bald guy like zaps him with some TV remote, which knocks him out.
And I mean, this is, and I know we've tangented so far away from like Spinelli and the crew, right? Mm-hmm. But this is the issue with this man who wants to stop recess and stop school summer from happening. Mm-hmm. He's got all this gear. Mm. He can move the sun. He could just be like, hey, bro, look, I got things that move things. Give me millions. Like, this is a guy that he has a TV remote that zaps people and knocks them out because he hates killing people. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, police. That's what you get.
I mean, having a tractor beam, having the technology to have a tractor beam to move the moon, why are you just changing recess?
Yeah. But also, true. Like, the goal to change the moon is so the climate cycle is so it's just going to be like cold.
We're talking
into summer,
mass deaths.
Yeah,
like
this man's going to destroy the whole world.
Made inhospitable.
Yeah,
and he's like, yeah, but test scores, baby, they're going up. Probably, maybe. I can't promise it. This is unproven. I just had an idea one time that this would help.
Like it's either test
in the
scores
60s. He had that idea in the 60s too.
Yeah,
because he'd be smoking that
Mary Jane.
Yeah. He's in love with Mary Jane. It's his main thing. Like that's what he was saying in the 60s. And that's why you're going to be like, I'm skipping. Although you wouldn't skip out on recess if you're like smoking Mary Jane. Like,
no,
you'd be sitting
it's
there.
always recess.
It's always. Like, let's take a break. Like, let's all have a snack. Like that's what recess is, right?
I thought you were like, let's take a break. This is too heavy content.
Yeah, I actually thought
we need to stop.
I thought you were saying like, bro, we can't do this anymore.
Like we got to stop here. Dude, we got things on the camera. What's that telling me?
The movie you recorded exceeded the 4 GB limit. It was split into two files.
I'm going to slap Vincent. I'm going to slap him
me
from across the room.
Why is it not recording? Anyway, you're going to be like off for a bit. Who knows? I don't know why that stopped recording. That's right.
Oh, it's recording now.
It's recording now. I don't know why it stopped before. It might hit the recording limit, you know? Who knows?
Hey, but I think that, there's other things that you can do with that technology. But also, I think he's either thinking like, hey, look, it's bad test scores or mass deaths. Like either one is like good for me. Like that's if you're an evil man, like that's what he's probably thinking.
Yeah. Characters are allowed to be unhinged and have bad motivations in movies, but this guy, it's like, even for a kid, it's sort of pushing the boundaries of, is this crazy enough to be funny? Yeah, sure, but like it's It's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. And it's like tonally really weird for Recess to have him be so unhinged in this way. Although I mean, it's kind of funny. Like it's a good part of it to like up the ante. It's just the start of it seems inessential completely. Like they should have just had a break-in scene to the school and knocked out the guards, because then it makes like the fact that they're there during the day, like using laser beams and stuff, and nobody seems to notice. It would make that more realistic if you like infiltrated the school and knocked out the guards.
And like
they just got people coming through the main gate.
Yeah, that's right. Like no one cares. Like they just look like they're working there.
There's a scene where TJ rides his bike past the school. This is after, most people have gone on camps for school holidays. There's not that many people around, which is sort of the setup, but TJ just rides past the school on his bike and sees green lasers coming out of the school. And then that bald guy I mentioned is just like, hey, get away from there. And he's just on the road. He's just in the street.
It's also the street. The school is not isolated from the rest of the town.
It's in the middle of the town.
We're talking like TJ lives across the road.
Yeah, and there are houses there that are like, they would be watching TV at night and there's lasers and they'd be like, it must just be something, just doing paperwork at the school,
Like just doing photocopy. They got that new photocopier, man. That's the new big thing.
They try to do that thing they do in all movies, not all movies,
every single movie,
every single movie, right?
Yeah.
Where, firstly, the audience knows the evil that's coming. They know the plot, right? They know what's going on. Then the main character knows the evil stuff, and they're trying to convince people. Like he's trying to convince his parents. He's trying to convince his friends.
They would have the police.
He's trying to convince the police that are like the police from Get Out, that are just like
the police are the worst.
They're just loving the story, but have no belief in it. He tries to convince everyone, but in this case, it's like not very believable because what's going on is so obvious. There's something going on.
And also, not only do they have like green laser beams coming out, like you're seeing the lights, but also they've installed a roof at the school that opens on command.
Yeah, did they have that there before?
Like as if they did, that's pretty wild. Like, hey, you want to play basketball outside? All right, let's press the button. They're like the roof just opens.
Yeah, but that's wild. Like they'd have to, if they were doing that, just to take off like the roof.
Yeah.
That's a big
construction.
job. That's construction. They would have had to get council approval.
You would think so. You would think so.
Because it's not like, the roof opens. I'm pretty sure they always had that.
At least the school has that now still at the end.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
You can do basketball outside now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like, because it's a basketball court that they're using, right? Like they're in the gym area.
I think so.
Yeah, like you can do it outside now.
It kind of just looks like a non-clear, really big room that's too big to be in a school. But probably the basketball hall.
I was also thinking about the characters that are within the space, because like within the school, like the bad dudes, not only are there people just going in, like walking through the street, like you'll see numbers of people going in, but the amount of like guards that are there, like once they actually get into the school and infiltrate it, we're talking like in the hundreds.
Right, they got ninjas.
And they got ninjas, yeah.
Like Paul and Joe were like, ninjas. We got ninjas.
And did they just come in? Like I didn't see them anywhere else. Did they just come in for the climax?
I think so. No, they were
chasing them when they were like...
Yeah, when they first came
in.
Yes,
when the kids discovered the plot and all the equipment, the ninjas chased them. And basically it was just there so that like Gus could go, ninjas? Why did it have to be ninjas? Like, that's it.
Paul and Joe, like, were just like, we're just going to have ninjas in this movie.
It's kind of symbolic of like a lot of the jokes in the movie are just like, as fun as it is generally, a lot of them are just like don't really go anywhere. Like, there's not more to the ninja joke than just the fact there's ninjas. Like, that's very kid level baseline animation sort of stuff.
And like the fact that they've got like soda cans like in their arsenal when they're like going up against them, like, hey, look, man, like kids love soda.
Yeah, the best, that fight in the end also. The climax of like, they've got all the kids from all the different camps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they're going up against the ninjas and the guards. And they're using like shaking up soda can. They're spraying soda on these ninjas and they're like, and they're just like, back off.
Well, dude, like, I'll be honest with you. The last thing I want is soda on my skin.
I know, but they were like fully kitted up.
Oh, they were fully kitted up. But then you'd be thinking like, flies are going to be on me.
I guess then you're thinking like, my mum's going to have to do all this laundry. I said I wasn't going to get dirty today.
Because if you're doing like corporation-based stuff, like there's heads doing like laundry. There's heads doing laundry. So like that they're going to go back to someone like, Jaylene at headquarters is going to be like, dudes, like why we got soda? Why we got sauce on our things? Like, what's all this ketchup? What's all this mustard going? I was also thinking that when you're going back about saying, you know, how this is when you like go from TV to a movie, I feel that always the stakes go from being like just a general, you know, how like in episodes it's like, oh, you know, the ice cream's melting, we got to get like the fridge like working again. Like that's a stake in a TV show, and they'll make that hilarious somehow. But then whenever they go to movies, it's always like the world is gonna end.
Yeah.
Like the Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
Like that became, you know, Homer's like, I'm drunk, I'm abusive, but for some reason it's hilarious. But now Springfield's gonna get like destroyed.
It's like the movie sequel sort of thing where like you have to do the same thing as you already do, but like make up the ante. They always do that with kids' movies, like always. And to fill out the length as well, but it doesn't like necessarily work as well.
Did this movie give you any like sense of just like, because when I was a kid, I would always watch these movies and be like, I'm in it. I'm in there. I am one of the characters. You know, I'm TJ, I'm Spinelli, I'm whoever it happens to be. I see myself as a Spinelli, you know? Like, you know, some people see themselves as a Ross or a Rachel. I'm like Spinell. Right, that's me.
Because you're just oozing all the time.
Oh, dude, that's all I think about. I just think about fighting folk, like jumping off of things onto folk, right? But when I was watching this movie, I was like, if I was in this, like, if this situation was real and I was in the situation in which I had to infiltrate this place and stop all these dudes, I'm dead. Like, dude's got me like straight away because I'm slow. I'm not that fast. Two, when you're running through schools, like you're gonna trip over something. You know, like when if someone's chasing me and they really want to get me, and I'm running downstairs, I'm doing like you know, with your feet are like going like that, but you're not really going too fast. Like the dude's just gonna go, he's just gonna jump at me, take me down. I'm just like,
because he's not worried because he's falling on you.
Oh yeah, he's gonna break your bones.
That's right. He doesn't have to worry about his own bones because he's gonna have you to break the fall.
And also, like, if you got ninjas, like they're happy to risk their like. They're happy to risk their bones to stop a man.
This is a career moment for them.
That's it.
Yeah, they've been training their whole lives for this.
They've been training for so long, and finally they get to use their skills on children.
I'm glad that at the start they established like the main guy doesn't want, like the bad guy doesn't want people to die.
Yeah.
So like they didn't just whip out guns and just be like, Spinelli, your mother sends her regards.
That's helpful setup to make it less ridiculous that like these guys are just chasing kids around the school.
Yeah. Although imagine like, because you know how sometimes when they do those big movies, like someone dies and it's that sad moment. Imagine just like Spinelli gets like head blown off. All the kids in the cinema like, Mum, Spinelli. There's like
someone shoots a bit too much ketchup and then she gets like allergic reaction. She doesn't have a...
And there's no teachers around with the EpiPen.
That's right.
Oh, dude, man.
Also, the principal gets kidnapped and he becomes like the good guy, which is the team up. He's also built like a fridge.
He was built like big time built.
Big time built.
Yeah. Let's get into it. Principal Prickly.
Principal Prickly. What a name.
And it's perfect because like as a character, he's actually like a good character. He's actually like one of the few characters in the movie that's not just there because they're in the show.
Yeah.
His whole thing is that he's a prickly principal.
That's playing words. He's doing playing words. You're doing playing words.
I like the look at the...
I was trying to think of more P words. I couldn't think of any.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll edit some in.
Anyway, he's had it up to here with TJ and his mates pulling pranks. And he says, I'm gonna throw the book at you, TJ. Like you're really gonna get it this time. Like TJ says, look, nah, it's school break.
Yeah.
You can't do anything. So Principal Prickly leaves for school break sort of with all this like built up frustration with the kids, and all the kids think he's like a prickly principal that doesn't understand what kids is like, being a kid is like. But his transformation, or just his character in general, is like he's actually the one person that doesn't believe TJ when he asks for help, but goes to help him because he has a duty to like do the right thing. Yeah. And he gets dematerialized when he tries to enter the school. He gets zapped, and you don't know for sure. You basically think he just gets fried.
Yeah. I don't understand how they did that.
The technology these people have is
they can move the moon.
They can move.
I know they can move the moon, but
basically teleport people. If that's what that was.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming. That's hilarious because like he's out of his shoes. Like you've heard about it before. You've heard about people just folk being like zapped out of their shoes, but this is the first time you've seen it on screen, and it was hilarious.
They also take his clothes.
That's great.
Because the henchman dresses up as him, puts on a mask, and it was like his wife didn't even realise.
Yeah. There was a couple of things like that where it was like the movie was trying to be a kid's movie and a parent's movie as well.
Yeah.
But there just wasn't enough, I think, for like an adult to be like, this has got consistent giggles all the way through.
Yeah, Harry Potter fan, 1996. Just he or she knew that.
Yeah.
There wasn't consistent giggles.
No.
That's what they came in there for. There was not consistent giggles.
And there was bad music, which we'll get into in a second after I say one of the things that was like the first adult joke that I heard in there was like, oh, you like TJ like went to the house after like he was all flustered because like he saw what was going on. Mum was like, oh, you're red hot. Let me get the baby thermometer and the petroleum jelly. And it's just like a kid's not going to know what that is. So that's just for adults. And also as an adult, I'm not going to be like, bro, that's hilarious. Like that is the humor that I've come here to see. This disgusting humor about putting thermometers up people's like, bottoms, right? I didn't come here to see that with my kid. And if I am in the cinemas without my kid, it's like, fellas, we gotta work out our priorities here.
All in Joe, come on.
But let's talk about them.
But they should have like if it was going to be a good movie, it was going to be running at both speeds movie. It was going to be a movie about being a parent or a teacher and a movie about being a kid. But it really was just a movie about being a kid with a couple of like parent jokes in there, and that's why it's not Daddy Daycare. It's not like the movie that on a surface level kids love, but it's also a movie about relationships and being an adult and having all this responsibility. It was just the kids movie. It only executed the kids movie part of it.
Now let's get into that. Let's get into that music because you're a music man. Like people see you, they know you're a music man. Like you wear music tees. Like you wear band tees.
Hard Rock Cafe. Show the fans.
Hard Rock Cafe. That's how you know a true music fan. They have a Hard Rock Cafe t-shirt on.
Bro, they got like guitars in that place. I remember we went to that Hard Rock Cafe, worst meal that we ever had.
Yeah, in Queensland.
In Queensland, like it came out cold.
It was trash. It was the worst burger I ever had.
Like when it comes out cold, like the bread's cold, that's when you're sort of like, okay, well, what are we doing here? I know you got a lot of people in here, but like this is a famous.
You're like, why is my burger hard as a rock in this cafe? Like,
this is the content that we brought you in here for, Jack.
But
the soundtrack was good, I thought. The soundtrack was a 60s soundtrack and it was trying to play on the fact that it's a kids' adventure movie, but like these kids are doing the same things as their parents would have been doing when they were kids. Like it's like a bit of a generational thing. Like school's out and Dancing in the Street is playing and all the kids are going wild.
Yeah.
When the adventure starts, like Born to Be Wild is playing and they're driving through like the outskirts of the suburbs to pick up all the kids to get them together. When he's on his own, like One is the Loneliest Number.
Which is a dumb idiot song, but we'll keep going.
I was thinking
that's
the
the
lyrics
song.
of that song.
Oh, I like it.
I was like, this doesn't make sense.
As in like it didn't quite line up with actually what was happening.
I didn't care about what was happening, just the song is just a weird song.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But also like, you said One is the loneliest number, like that's fair. I get it because like, you're by yourself.
One is the loneliest number that you ever do.
Yeah,
because you'll be one. Like you will be doing one person in that space. Like 1.5 meters. Like that's one is the loneliest number.
When you're on your own, don't you say I'm doing one right now?
I'm doing me. You are the one. But also then it's like two is like pretty much similar to it. Like that's the next line. When I was listening to that, I was like, man, all these songs are good, but this one, like, I'm not here for it.
It's a shocker.
And I think it's also because my dad will just like sing it, just randomly. I'm like, why? Why are we doing this song? Like, look at all the songs. We got Pitbull, right? We got
Mr. Worldwide here.
Yeah, and is there any more that?
And then at the end, there's like Let the Sunshine In. It's all just, it's like big sort of fun, old music that's a generation before the kids and probably the generation of their parents. It makes sense for the whole parent-kid angle, but I don't know if kids are hearing it and getting excited. Like they're maybe not big enough names for kids to like actually know them and therefore like get it as well.
Well, that's what we saw here with Harry Potter fan 1996.
That's right.
Like underscore.
Dumb old music.
I wanted Nikki Webster.
If you want, you want Mrs. Spears. You want Mrs. Spears.
You want Mrs. Spears, 100%.
That's what you need. If you're a 1996 Harry Potter fan. Now, I wouldn't say that there's too much else in this movie that I want to unravel, except for when and this is going back to like the main bad guy of the piece.
Mm-hmm.
I love that his entire like story, not just the reason why he's bad, but his just entire story as an individual is explained in one backstory, like
it's a bit much.
flashback.
It's
right?
a very TV episode flashback, isn't it?
Because he's like, like no one believes in me, no one wants to skip out on recess, and then the man falls over, and that's why he needs a cane. Like that's right.
Dude, it's the little details, man. That's a character trait that he picked up in that.
But also he's mad that Principal, like Prickly, his mate at the time in the 60s, got the principal job, but like the DA or district attorney or whatever was just like, hey, you're the principal now. Principal Prickly, you've dogged me, mate. Like, he was just the closest bloke to him.
And then he's like, you took my chick, you took my job. Principal Prickly, you will pay.
And Principal Prickly looking like he's dressed up like Austin Powers or something. Right? He's got like that.
He looks like Ringo Starr, man.
Actually, you're right. He's got some Ringo Starr action. That's probably more appropriate and era like specific. Like, I mean, Austin Powers, he was around in those times, but not like in real life.
Yeah, it was a little tacker.
It was a little tacker. But I'm thinking that, look, for me, there's really not much to unravel in this movie now that we've gone through all these things. This is a movie that you can watch. It's a brisk movie. You can watch it. You don't have to be in there for the whole thing. You can come in, you can come out. You can fall asleep if you need to, which, hey, I didn't.
Hey,
respect, man.
Yeah, that's respect.
And I came back from work and I was like, man, I'm going to watch this movie. I'm not falling asleep. I was just like looking at it. And you know what? The reason I didn't fall asleep is because I'm going to tell you right now that this is the part where and by we, I mean the three amigos right here. That's us. This podcast changing, man. We're the three amigos, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the three Migos. Like, that's why they're called the Migos.
The me.
You're Quavo, I'm Offset, or whatever one of them is. I don't. To be honest with you, I don't want to be the Migos. Quaid. So this is the part where we tell them, and by them I mean the listeners and now the viewers, whether this movie was worth the $8.99 for Disney Plus admission, or you just torrent this thing.
Yeah, how did you watch this?
I got a friend's login for Disney Plus. I don't know. Is that like? Am I allowed to say that? Will Disney get me? For
No.
That's
I share it with all my family.
We can't release this podcast anymore.
No, you're allowed to have four people on there at one time, so that's fine.
Yeah, well, I was the fifth person using someone who already had four.
Hey, bro, let's wrap this. Hey, we're wrapping this up early. Hey,
I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing.
Come on, man. No, but what do you reckon? Was this movie worth $8.99?
So I didn't have Disney Plus. I borrowed a login to watch this movie.
So was it worth borrowing the login?
Worth borrowing the login.
Yeah.
Worth $8.99? Probably not, man. It was good for me liking the TV show to go back and jump in and watch it and think, oh yeah, that was a fun show. This is a fun movie. It's all right. But it didn't I don't have lasting memories of it that I'm going to be like, I need to go watch that again. That was so fun. That was it. One time visit back there was fun. That's it. It's not great, but it's definitely a passable kids movie.
You won't revisit it like on the daily. Is what you're trying to tell us?
No, 100% no.
Yeah,
I might even delete the app from my phone.
Yeah,
you
probably
need to,
should.
Man. You need
You're
to.
the fifth person. Like, you're doing illegal things.
Like, they're coming for you, dude. Disney, come.
Walt listens
For
to this
individuals.
podcast in his cryogenic cell.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
listening. This is what he's got plugged into his ears.
Is this streaming live?
Yeah, we're going to be remade in 20
no.
years as well. Imagine our live action remake. I'll just be like, we're doing dumb idiot things, but look, I'm 4K, bro. Like, that's what it's going to be. Now, also, I agree with you. I agree that there was some nostalgia here for me, but I feel that this movie didn't really give me enough of like the characters, all the characters. I just wanted, I would have been honestly happy with just like Principal Prickly put them all in detention and they got to go to like,
and then it's the Breakfast Club.
and it's I would have been happy with the Breakfast Club, but like Spinelli was there just like doing like pile drivers on like Mr. Prickly. Like, that would have been hilarious. But for me, not worth $8.99 for Disney Plus admission.
Vince?
This is like, oh no, actually, we both said it's not worth it. So that
This
means
is real talk.
I was
This
gonna
is not
say-
worth it.
Just tell us
I'm
how
just
it's
telling
not
you,
worth
it's
it.
not
though.
worth it. How it's not worth it. Like, it's all right, but bro, you're going to move the moon? Come on, man.
That's probably the most worth it bit because I'm like, bro, the moon, that's crazy.
The man's also says
$8.99
like,
to move the moon.
the man's also says like, oh, if I move the moon and get test scores up, maybe they'll make me president.
Yeah, you
Crazier things have happened, bro.
They
that's-
have. They have.
know, that's actually true.
They have. So maybe he could have been president.
We could be presidents. The
Whoa.
first trio of presidents.
The first
The first Migos
time
president.
Amigos were ever elected.
Quavo,
president.
Offset, and Upset. Whatever the other dude's name. What's the other dude's name?
Dude, he's upset because you just said his name wrong. So he's now upset. That's his name.
What's the other Migos name?
Take off. Which is just like, you got, I mean, all those things is like you just smashed the keyboard and that's what came up. Like that's how you got
Yeah,
Quavo.
but take off.
Because he's taken off. Like he's like, bro, I got to take off.
Is that what you say, bro? I'm taking off.
Or think of it, they're like, think of a name, bro, I got to take off. I got to leave.
I gotta leave.
And that's how they got his name.
Perfect.
Perfect. Put it in. Vincent and Jack, if you want to, like you can join in with Vincent. Tell them where they can find us.
YouTube, you're watching it because this is gonna go up. Even if like one of the cameras didn't work properly, it's still gonna go up. You're just gonna hear one person and be like, "What does this guy look like?" Yeah,
Reddit. We're on Reddit.
we're not on Reddit.
Well, yeah,
We're not?
it's
Oh,
say,
okay.
say it because I'm on Reddit. Like, I'll go on there.
Like we all go on Reddit on our own kind of like accounts.
We'll be on Q&A this week.
Q&A, yeah, actively.
Yep. Sorry, keep going.
Dude, he's adding in things. He's trying to help out. It's like, when you give a kid a shovel to like shovel things and he's like shoveling the dirt back into it. Like that's what he's doing, but he's helping.
Oh, good.
He's doing well.
Bro, I gotta take off. Like I can't do all this other content.
No, you don't need to be on Q&A. Don't worry about it.
Anyway, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, what else? Social media, Snapchat. They're all social medias. We're on Twitter and Instagram
We will be on TikTok at some stage.
at some stage. That's it. Patreon. Sign up to the Patreon.
I'm on the
Our man's
Patreon.
Jack is on the Patreon. How worth it is the Patreon?
Oh, honestly, it's definitely worth it. It's
de-
definitely worth
You've
it.
heard it from a viewer and listener and friend of the show. Like, what else you want?
It's the better content, but it's also like it's just getting more intimate with the Migos,
Yeah. I was also going to say you better say some good stuff about it, man. I was like looking at him like, come on, man. Like, this is
why we got you here. It's only like $2 a month. Like you better be shilling for us.
I got the gun on the table. I'm pointing at Jack. Like, he knows. But hey,
That's all.
farewell.
See you later.
See ya.